Hello, hello, ohayo Ootori. It's your boy. How are we doing today? Which, really, there's only one answer. I know everybody's doing it wonderful. Everybody's been looking forward to this. Why wouldn't they? I mean, there's a bunch of people that submitted themselves for Waifu Wednesday. A bunch of you. Literally millions. I couldn't possibly sort through all of them, so I chose none of them. Because, of course, the very first Waifu Wednesday must be done with the #1 best waifu. And honestly, I almost didn't want to make this into a whole stream. Oh, good. Our other MVP is here. Mr. 5% himself. I can't believe it. Well, with everyone else as my witness to know that my opinions are truly factual, we will get into Waifu Wednesday. But first, there's a few things. #1, I posted this, I think, either today or yesterday. Two major things are happening. #1, tomorrow will be the second player of the Horde of the Dragon Queen. I have already contacted them, and once we iron out the specific time, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as normal, so 3 p.m. CST around this time, and we will make their character. I'm pretty excited for this one in specific because I'm 90% sure this person's going to make a cleric, and so I fully intend to make it into their heads on how to pronounce it properly. The second thing is I have been contacted by the spirit that brought me to this land, and they told me about the power of belief. Now, I'm not really sure I understand all of this myself, but so far as the spirit has deemed to explain to me, the more of you that believe in my vision for the world, the more powerful I become. And to that end, I believe I have found a way to alter my appearance, so to speak, to grow into a more realistic form. But I do not yet have enough power. If you or individuals that you know would be interested in submitting themselves to the true king of the lands, I am definitely open for those subscriptions. So, just pass along the message. You can submit to my domain, or you could burn in the eventual pyroclasm. It's really just an easy choice. So those are the two big things. I am hoping to gain this power before the New Year's starts. That way we can start off the new year with a fresh me, a fresh life, and hopefully not a fresh planet Earth. With that said, though, it is now time for Waifu Wednesday. The waifu of choice was not hard to choose so much as she was difficult to describe. I mean, if you ever see a landscape or a person that is so breathtakingly gorgeous, you have to take a minute to really comprehend what it is you're looking at. Sort of the idea here. Also, she is under the explicit protection of those who designed her. And so I wanted to be pretty careful about which fan art I chose. Now, the way that Waifu Wednesday works is that I will choose a waifu and I will find the most default art of them that I can get to. Basically, the more official, the better. So, for example, if we were to go to a ReZero waifu, I would probably look at the light novels before the anime, just to get the creator's design intention. A lot of artists can have a lot of, creative liberty with the way that they draw characters, and I think that can make or break a character in many cases. So, in the interest of fairness, we will go with official art. This character is from a visual novel, and so the art style might not be to everybody's liking, but I guarantee it doesn't matter, because she is the best girl in the world. Perhaps in the multiverse too. So the rest of you ladies, this is your big competition if you wanna if you want to get into my flamin' heart here. So this girl, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll put a little bit of, actually, I guess we'll start with her design. And already we can see orange hair with hair ribbons. This is already a really strong start. Hair ribbons, I'm a big fan of. Even if they're not for twin tails, it really helps to draw one's attention to like the whole body rather than just face, not face. And I really like that they're kind of winglets and sort of cloudy in nature. They contrast really, really well against the orange, the kind of paler skin and the blue eyes. So if we move up, we can see that she has very long hair. This hair extends really, really far down, and straight hair is just, it's not the most superior hairstyle, but it's pretty good. It's also quite versatile. You can tie it up into a ponytail, you can tie them into twin tails, you can tie them into quadruple tails. Long straight hair is just the way to go. The front bangs kind of extend downwards here. And we have kind of like a boyish cut here at the front with a very small ahoge. So subtle, but you know, interesting enough. Now, the real interesting part comes in the character's clothing design and choice. Now, everybody else in this visual novel wears white, like a white dress with red accents. It's like their school uniform, but this character in particular has a uniform from another school because they're a transfer student, and for reasons they could not get the main settings school uniform in time to start attending classes. Let's go ahead and scroll up a little bit here. Now, we have a lot of orange, we have a lot of brown, but green is introduced here at the chest and then platted out on the skirt. Now, my big issue with a lot of characters in anime is that their design philosophy for color palettes tend to be focused on like 2 colors, not including the skin tone. But here we have quite a few colors. We have the hair ribbons being white, we have her eyes being blue, we have a necktie here that's kind of red, then we have the brown orangish coat, which more or less goes with the hair, and then green, and then later we get black. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to draw your attention, and all of it seems just well placed. I can see that the chat is stunned at the beauty of this young lady, and you know what? That's the correct response. One thing I kind of wish if there were like black gloves, I think that's kind of a bigger complaint I have with the design here. Who? Man. Okay, whatever. So yeah, I wish we had black gloves to go with the stockings. Also, absolute territory, gentlemen. I mean, seriously, it's just the way to go. And then we continue down with brown shoes. Pretty standard stuff. So all in all, it's a design that isn't necessarily generic. It does have a lot of popping points, so to speak. But she isn't so like special snowflake that she just yeets out of everybody else. She definitely has like a place in most backgrounds. As for who the character is, her name is Chihaya. She comes from the visual novel Rewrite from Key Visual Works. It's not my favorite visual novel. It might be one that I play later down the line, probably after Little Busters and some other things. But this character definitely makes the whole game great. There is also an animated series about Rewrite, and it's okay. It's way better if you've played the visual novel and then watch the anime, but I mean, I feel like in forcing somebody to invest like 60 some odd hours into a visual novel and then watch a 25 episode anime is a little much to appreciate one character, but you know, to each their own. Now, Chihaya here, her personality is a little interesting. You might think by just looking at her design that she's a pretty stereotypical tsundere. She kind of has that facial expression, that kind of aggravated expectation, like, what the hell do you want? And you wouldn't be wrong, but that's not quite right either. See, Chihaya is what I would call a bakadere. She's kind of stupid and a little slow. Now, that isn't to say that she's like caveman, me hit, me punch, but she's definitely more the type to not really understand a lot of social cues, and she's a little slow on the uptake, and she's clearly socially awkward, but kind of balances that with this kind of self-righteous arrogance, though me hit, me punch. But this arrogance isn't really apparent to anybody except the main character, because for anime reasons, the main character always finds her with a panty shot. I'm just saying, it happens in the game. I didn't make the choices to do that. That's just how it ends up, all right? I don't make the rules here. It's just the way it is. So she tends to be a little soon towards the main character, but it isn't to the point of like beating him up. It's like, Jesus, why do you keep finding me like this? What's your freaking problem? But the core part of her persona is this like underlying dedication to be a better person. You see, a lot of characters who are like slow on the uptake, the big dumb fighter archetype, they tend to just take the most straightforward path and just assume that it's the right way to go. And Chihaya is different in the fact that she's consciously aware that she isn't very smart or isn't very sharp on a lot of things. And so she actively relies on the people around her to sort of explain things like a child, so that she can get a better idea of what's going on. And without wanting to spoil the way that the game works, she is the only character other than the main character and the main heroine that shows up in every single route of the game. She's the only one. There are 6 heroines plus 1 to count the actual no-nonsense main heroine, and Chihaya is the only one of the original 6 that shows up in every route. And in every route, including the ones where you actively have to fight against her, she joins the party to help you. Because her thing is that when all the crazy stuff goes down, the thing that she wants most is to like hang out with everybody again. All of this stuff about like her backstory and stuff, she like throws it away every single time for the sake of her friends. And that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. It is a lighthearted, good-natured character that doesn't shy away from the fact of like standing up for what they believe in. And it's just nice. It's just really nice. It's also pretty funny because her route in that game is probably the least interesting. Most of the game does a lot of like investigation and like puzzle solving, but hers is like legit a shonen battle anime. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But no, Chihaya just touches all the right places. I especially want to point out these little ribbons here on the top of the stockings. I wish I could see more of these on other characters. I really think the whole kind of flowing nature that it gives off is really, really like apparent. It goes with the fact that her hair is really long and that she has these little ribbons going on. But there's like so much variety and somewhat spice in her design, yet it kind of fits together, if that makes sense. And so for the reasons I've stated, this is the number 1 waifu. Good luck? What do you mean good luck? I don't need luck. I need waifus. That's what we're here for. So I will now go into the second part of Waifu Wednesday. And what that is where you will submit to me a waifu. You know, you can give me her name or whatever, and I will search up an image that is hopefully friendly to put up, and then we will judge them in a similar capacity. I await your submissions. Can I submit Miyu? You may. You may. Let's see. Do I have... Okay. Oh, Mordred. Well, I don't want to talk about Mordred. Do Kanamori. Kanamori? Oh. Alright, so we'll go with Sayaka Kanamori from Eizouken. Let me grab an image. Alright. I'll do Saber of Red, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you she's garbage. It's again, I don't make the rules. That's just the way it is. All right, so here we have Kanamori from Eizouken. Now she wears a school uniform, like the rest of the girls in the show. So the design, in as far as apparel goes, isn't exactly interesting. The most notable feature about her, other than her expression and the freckles, are the glasses that she wears on top of her head. This I kind of rate as a negative. I think girls in glasses are very, very cute, but Sayaka doesn't actually wear her glasses, and that kind of sucks. Otherwise, she isn't very interesting to look at. Everything is very generic, very, very basic, and again, that's kind of just the way that the show works. Her personality is where things get interesting. You see, the other two main characters in Eizouken are, well... It's kind of like Idiot 1 and Idiot 2. 1 is kind of like the daydreamer type where, you know, she thinks of all these fanciful things and she's like a big perfectionist. Everything has to fit her vision. And then the other one is very not so confident in her own work. So Kanamori here basically fits as both a statue of logical reasoning and also kind of a, hey, who cares about what you think about your work? If you want people to see it, you have to make it work. I really appreciate her sort of determination to help out the other two, and also the kind of spooky way that she goes about getting everything done. She's a no-nonsense, kind of get to the point of it because I'm here for business, cold hard bitch, and that's pretty cool. Ultimately though, she doesn't rate that high on the waifu meter. At most, I would go get dinner with her. I'd offer to pay for it, and if she said no, then that's the end of it. She is not a good waifu, but a great character. Definitely my favorite out of the Eizouken squad. Yes. So now we will get Saber of Red. Oh god, I shouldn't have looked this up on Google. I have many regrets. Let's see if I can grab some official art here. Come on. There we go. I'll do this. Alright. Let's see here. So, Mordred, or Saber of Red, is a servant in the Fate series of the Saber class, which automatically makes her pretty terrible. As anybody knows, Sabers are just the worst class, and they really have no business existing at all. They're all hard-headed morons that can't really think for themselves, which might be the case for other servants, but at least the independent action skill works on like everybody else. So, as far as the physique goes, Mordred has quite a lot going for her. This band across her chest, high quality, very high quality. I'm a big fan of the kind of, not necessarily convenient censoring, but things that make that whole aesthetic of, you know, only cover up what you absolutely need to. Yeah, the underboob, very good. But that is thrown out the window by these awful gauntlets. What is this? Okay, for one, I get that it's like a, you know, an anime series, but what, oh, whoops. Let me remove this real quick. But what is this, right? What is this at her shoulder? You see what I'm saying? Like, it puffs out, even though there's nothing there to support that kind of puff. And I think it looks stupid. Also, this kind of curtain that goes in between her crotch also looks really stupid. If her design was made to look like kind of more of a hard ass with a lot of straight lines and a lot of points, having this flowing thing right here in the center kind of throws all of that off. Again, we're pretty uninteresting when it comes to colors. We have green eyes, blonde hair, white skin, and then pretty much everything else is red. This isn't even really black here on the legs. And then we have the thing that I hate most in a lot of combat anime, shoes that are larger than the legs they encompass. If you have ever worn shoes like this, they are the least comfortable things ever. Conference call is over. I am returned. Okay, well. Oh, Mordred, yeah. Nobody wears heels in combat. Like, nobody reasonable. Now, sure, it's the Fate series, but this is also stupid. So not only do the lips of the shoes go over the whole leg, and if we assume that the ankle is here, that means every time she would lift up her leg, the shoe falls a little bit further down until you step on it again. Moedrid, yeah. This is just terrible design all the way around. The sword Caliburn was not this big. Caliburn was like a freaking knife, by the way. So not only is everything historically inaccurate, none of the design actually makes sense. The only good part she has is right here in the center. From shoulders to the stomach, that's the only part of her design that doesn't suck. And she's a saber, so Mordred is like less than garbage. Shouldn't even be a character. Needs to be removed from all existence. So there we have it. Who's next? Oh, Miu, right. Let me go find a full body of your default. Because I only have stomach up. Probably gonna need to look. Yeah. I mean, any waifu counts. I mean, send me anybody, and I'll look at them. Husbandos might come in a future episode, but for now, we're only looking at waifus. Let's go. Yoruichi from Bleach. That's a good one. See if I can find a good full body image of Yoruichi when she's not like naked. That's not a good one. Really? There's no like character design of her? Like concept art or anything? Hold on. Oh, let's see. All right, this'll do. Nice BGM. Thank you. It's Dova Syndrome made this. All right. With my incredible powers of anti-aliasing, I now have an image that I can look at. Okay, so now we gotta put her up here. Alright, so Yoruichi is the first colored character, like dark-skinned character that I ever encountered in anime. Oh god, I missed part of the hair, whatever. And so I was taken aback, and much like Chihaya, we have a few colors to go off of. I mean, of course there's her skin color. Then we have the orange of her shirt with some like white, silver. We got a red hair tie, what looks to be like golden and silver gauntlets. And we got the same gold down here. All in all, the colors are pretty good. They pop out, they're noticeable, instantly recognizable, good stuff. It's been a few years since I watched Bleach, so I can't talk too much about her personality, but I know that she's a major supporting character for the first part of the series. So she can't be that bad. Ultimately, though, the only other thing I remember about her is that she can turn into a cat, and that's pretty cool. Where do I rate her on the overall waifu meter? If we look at this expression and we assume that she's... Yeah, absolutely. If we look at her expression and assume that she's more of the go-getter, like, hell yeah, let's do it type, she rates moderately well. I would put her above most characters. Now, of course, because I'm a tragic weirdo, I personally prefer Orihime from Bleach, but again, it's been like 10 years since I last saw anything about Bleach, so I don't really remember much about what happens. Yoruichi, though, if I had to put her on a scale of 1 to 100, she rates a solid 40. You know, I don't know that much about her, but looking strictly at her design, I don't like the color orange. He says surrounded by the color orange. As like clothing orange and yellow, I don't know. It doesn't vibe well with me. I would prefer to see some like dark blues. Maybe a little bit more silver. I think that would be really good on her design. But that's how I would vote that. Oh yeah, I guess if I'm gonna vote the others, Mordred sits at a solid -1 out of 100, and Kanamori, we'll go 35. Not super high. Again, she's kind of a spooky weirdo. Not somebody that I would want to involve myself with if I didn't have to. So she doesn't rate that high. Oh, right on time. We have a meal. Alright. Save this. Put it to mute. Alright. So our next waifu is a virtual YouTuber who's here in the chat. right. Good lord, she thick. All right. Kind of scared. Now, I rate fairly. I mean, we're good friends and all, but I'm gonna put you up against every waifu that's ever been in anime ever. All right. So we'll start from the top like we did with Chihaya, since we have a large enough image to do so, and really zoom in on the details. So, to start, we have cat ears. Now, I was surprised that these were cat ears because they definitely look like fox ears, but I have been assured left and right they are cat ears. And I have also seen a cat tail, though bizarrely... Oh, there it is. Okay, I guess I didn't see it the first time. Anyway, so we have cat ears with a lot of fluff. Now, when I imagine cat ears, I imagine them to be a little bit smaller without all of this fluff. I mean, maybe you could have had like kind of a white interior kind of go around the inner skin of the ears. Ultimately, the fluff balls, I think they look nice. They fit with where you're going. They're not too obstructive. They just kind of look like earmuffs, like your ears are really cold or you don't want to listen to somebody. So moving down, my 100% favorite part of the design is this golden stripe of hair. At first, I was a little turned off by it because it seemed kind of random. But over time, you know, the design incorporates a lot of like singular colors. And gold is not too far off from the skin color or the eye color. So they're kind of matched in the same group. So rather than having like one or two random colors here and there, you have like one solid color. And then you have your hair color, and then you have the quote-unquote additional color, which includes the hair stripe, the eyes, and then the jewelry piece down here. So I do like the colors. As far as clothing goes, very standard stuff. It's nothing super special or jumps out at you. I vastly prefer thigh highs to stockings. And these rings... Oh, they're part of the shoes. Okay, my bad, because they're high heels. Now, for formal attire, this looks pretty good. Though one thing that definitely bothers me is you got these sleeves down here, which implies that the shirt underneath the blazer is a long sleeve. But that would be kind of weird, because that implies that the long sleeve goes all the way up here. Like, you have this huge opening. For business attire, me personally... I would prefer to see like a button-up shirt and like a tie. You didn't realize? Well, that's what we're here for. Yeah, I would definitely prefer to see like a full outfit, and I just prefer suits. I think everybody looks better in suits. I would even be willing to get rid of the skirt for like pants. I think suits look phenomenal on anybody. Other than that, pretty basic stuff. I've said before that I like long hair. I really like this front bang, but at the same time, I kind of hate this shorter one. I don't like how it's asymmetrical. Like the golden stripe here doesn't really interrupt with the, you know, symmetry, because even though it's not quite in the middle, it's like not so obtrusive to like throw everything off. But this feels like it's just unbalanced, like it just wasn't drawn. So I definitely like to see either this one cut, or I would actually prefer to see this one just extended down to the same length. So ultimately, the cattail matching the hair color, good choice. I see a lot of people have like fur color different from hair color, and that's kind of weird. Ultimately, if I had to put me on the waifu rating, it's not bad. Probably maybe a 40 out of 100. Again, pretty generic. Like, you could probably insert her in a scene in an anime with like a bunch of people, and I wouldn't get that she was like a main character. Just because you know, her design doesn't really stand out all that much. I know that you have other outfits for her, but again, for the most fair design, I have to remove points for the long sleeves and the hair thing. Other than that, not bad. Okay, who else do we have? We have like, I think we have time for 2 more waifus. So let's hear him. Come on. And rate anybody. Man. Well, I mean, if you have nobody else to submit, Gaga Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh's, I don't even know what that is. Okay, I'm gonna look it up and hope it's not bad. Yoshika Tsushima. Okay, hold on. We're gonna go with the Yu-Gi-Oh card first. It's not really good artwork or official artwork that I can use. I guess I'll just pull up the whole card. That is definitely not the default art. Okay. Here we go. Alright, so this isn't something that's cropped because it includes a background, but that's okay. Alright, so here we have the Gaga Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so to start, I like the colors. The fade from kind of the salmon down to white is really tasteful. I like the pink, and it goes well with the black and orange. It kind of keeps that mystical feel and the sort of pseudo Halloween look. So there's that, and I think that's a great start. The armlets are pretty good. Usually I would like something like this to reach all the way to the finger, which that might be happening here. I'm not too sure. Though immediately I can tell you what I absolutely dislike is, where is it? One, the hat. The hat appears to be plated, which is extremely bizarre. Yeah, because there's like shading going on here, and I don't understand why there would be armored plates on kind of like a witch hat. I would definitely think keeping it consistent with the cloth that's on her everywhere else except for, oddly, this ankle guard would be better. And, you know, come to think that I guess these are also plates, and that's kind of weird. I don't like that at all. Plated skirts, not good. Spats, though, however, I do see some spats down here. Excellent. Spats are an awesome alternative to the thigh highs, though you can combine them. Unfortunately, we have a missed opportunity. Instead of absolute territory, we get this like weird like knee, and I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Her hair sucks. What is, like, I've seen banana fairies before, and they can be very cute. This is not one of them. This looks like a Super Saiyan that tried to, you know, fit himself into an ice cream cone. Honestly, not impressed. The kind of whole head shape into the hat ruins most of this image for me. So, man, that removes a lot of points, because everything else about the design, I could get over the plates, because I really think that this giant ribbon is kind of neat, and I really like the kind of mystical raiment going on here. I don't really know what this is, but I guess it's okay. It's like an accessory. It doesn't really matter. So, oh, and pointed shoes. God damn. If they weren't pointed shoes, it would be way better. I almost didn't notice because the left foot here seems to be kind of normal because it's in the air. But if you look at the right foot, it extends way too far. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Gaga Magician Girl gets a 30. This hair is awful. I can't. I mean, I saw other fan art where it's like not nearly as bad, but you know, again, since we're going off of the official artwork, I don't like this. But I do really like this chest piece. The kind of skin forming. It's some good stuff. So not bad, not excellent. And then Miyu said Yoshiko Tsushima. Oh, I spelled that wrong. You'd think for somebody. Oh, I know who this is. Okay. This is a Love Live character. Alrighty. Yoshiko Tsushima. I guess we'll take this image. Is there a full body I can get? Oh, okay. This is a better full body. All right, let's pop this here. That's good enough. Now let's get her up on screen. I can already say the given name is kind of weird, but Tsushima is a bit of an interesting name. I always think back to the Battle of Tsushima Strait, which Japan is pretty notable for using World War I and II references. Oh no, I cut off part of her feet. Okay, that's my bad. That does not count against her design. I'm just not very good at this. Okay, so starting from the top, we have blue hair with like pink eyes. That's a pretty weird combination. I don't hate it, but it seems strange. It seems like a weird choice because usually when you combine a cool color, you would want to put it with another cool color. Though of course there are exceptions to that, but I think I would have preferred to see green eyes or maybe like a soft brown at most. But pink is a little strange, I would say. The hair itself, I do like long hair. This bun, I don't like. It seems to be just kind of placed there. I don't think the design would be missing anything if it wasn't there. So I think I'm going to take off points for that. The overall style is pretty good. We got a sailor uniform, Serafuku, which pretty standard stuff. The gray, this is like hard to count against because I know that Love Live and similar games and series have like a lot of the same uniforms because it's like idol stuff. So it's hard to count their uniforms against because all of them have to be consistent. But in the interest of fairness, I will isolate this image. I'm not a big fan of the uniform being white and gray with a red ribbon. I think of all the designs and color palettes you could have gone with, white and gray are like the least possible, like least interesting that you could have possibly had. And again, I don't really know much about the characters, so I can't comment on any personality. And even though I cut off the socks here, I really, really like stockings. I wish they went all the way up to the thigh, or at least up to the knees, and the shoes are pretty generic too. Ultimately, I would put Tsushima-chan here. You know what? She's pretty cute, even though some of the again, the eye thing is kind of weird. Maybe I'll get over that in time. I'll give Tsushima-chan a solid 50. I don't really know too much about her. I don't hate her. You know, if I had to go on a date with her, I wouldn't turn it down. You know, I'd be kind of interested, but going purely off of appearance could be better. Especially if this hair bun wasn't here, she'd be an easy 60. Let's get her out of here. All right. I got time for one more. I'll do one more. Wim. Actually, Wim, hold on. Where? You still in this chat? Oh, you're not. What the heck? Well, I wanted him to participate. I want to see what his waifu looks like in my eyes. But if he's not here, then it can't happen. Then well, shame. So far we haven't heard any disagreements, so it looks like my left eye of waifu seeing has indeed proved itself once more. So, unless we have another submission, I guess I'll wait around a few minutes. I'll otherwise be wrapping up the stream. Pretty short stuff, but you know, I don't feel like I need to drag this out, right? How about you pick a good waifu for us? Well, I already picked the best one, but you know what? I'll pick a popular one. We'll go with Amelia from ReZero. Let's see. Let's see if I can find... That's her anime design. Oh, that's a version with twin tails. That's real nice. But alas, it's not gonna work out. Oh wow, there's a bunch of spoilers here. Good gracious. Okay. All right, this is close enough. I can't really take out the background here, so we'll just save it. All right. Now, Amelia is not my favorite girl in ReZero, but in terms of design, she definitely takes the cake. I will not say who my favorite character is because my reasons for liking them the most are huge spoilers. Alright, so we have Amelia featuring Puck, who is actually the best girl, even though Puck's a boy. Alright. So, oh god, this is gonna like take up my whole screen. Who has the waifu? Well, we're getting there. Alright. So Amelia has long, straight hair, which I already really like. And instead of having a hair bun up here at the top, we actually have a flower that's connected to a ribbon. Again, it's a very flowing theme. I quite like it. I'm also a big sucker for the color white and just the general like silver. I like the purity that it gives, and combined with all the purple here, it's a very regal and royal kind of manner. The sleeves here are not exactly detached. They are reasonably attached here, and you can even see part of the purple like actual sleeve that holds on to the rest of the garment. So this big heavy like banner that hangs down from her sleeves doesn't like fall off or anything. It's realistically attached, and I quite like it that it again keeps with a very flowing atmosphere. Her hair is super long. We got ourselves a chest window and a nice little gemstone to draw your attention to it, but not really like highlight everything because everything is very consistent. Her bust is well supported, and we have what looks to be like, you know, if you've ever seen in those old suits, like a waistcoat, it'll have the 6 buttons here on the stomach, and then we have a pretty frilly skirt. We have absolute territory and long thigh highs. I mean, honestly, everything about this design just screams like freedom and openness. It's very, very good. Also, she's a half elf, and that's pretty high quality. My big complaint with Amelia is that her color palette is too samey. I've complained about this before on other characters. I wish her eye color wasn't purple. I would have gone for something like a pink here. Now, what's not shown here, but is part of her design, is her pupil is the most interesting part of her eyes. Her pupils are teal. They're like the exact opposite color of everything else she has on her, and it really gives her a very mystical appearance. So I'm a big fan of that. I also really like this X hairpin and the princess braid that goes across. I really like the way that Amelia looks. Again, if it weren't for the fact that her palette was so samey, if she could draw a little bit more attention to herself, that'd be a lot better. But of course, the way that the artist has chosen to do so is by giving her outfit a lot of room to like blow in the wind and have very dynamic poses. I don't know where this staff came from. I haven't seen it anywhere else. But Amelia, I know Amelia. I really like her personality. She's a total sweetheart, even if she's kind of dumb. Let me lower her down here. Putting Amelia on the waifu scale, I've got to give her a good 80. Just a solid 80. Again, I have a few issues with her design, and she's not actually my favorite character here. But she's pretty good. If you set me up with a date with Amelia, I would be there. I would be there 30 minutes early. I'd buy dinner. It would be the best time ever. So Amelia makes an 80%. Who was the waifu? Oh God, weren't you here at the start of the stream? God, you people. Alright, I'll go ahead and bring back Chihaya for the sake of those who weren't capable of seeing her. This is the #1 best waifu of all time. I've already gone at length to explain why. But Chihaya here, she's the best girl. I've yet to find a character in anime that makes me like them as much as I like Chihaya. Quite high, yes. I rate Emilia quite high because, again, her design is good and her personality is absolutely amazing. There's just a few quirks about her that aren't my favorite, but it's not like a deal breaker or anything. Alright, and that about wraps up today's Waifu Wednesday. Looks like there weren't too many arguments. It looks like you guys are starting to understand that just the things that I say are absolutely correct. And yeah, wow, this went off a lot smoother. I actually somewhat planned this to be about 2 hours because I wanted to give about 30 minutes or so for each character that gets submitted for me to argue with you guys, but that didn't happen. So I'm proud of you guys. You're coming around here quite nicely. So you have changed my mind on Mordred. I'm telling you, she's garbage. She's absolute garbage. There is now. I've seen the Fate Apocrypha anime, and even though it was largely terrible, Mordred was probably one of the better characters in it. Her personality is not bad. Actually, her personality is pretty solid, but her design sucks. It's irredeemably bad. Yeah, I mean, if you set me up with a date with Mordred, I would call up Astolfo and tell him to go instead. I'd go out on a date with Astolfo first, you know? Even though he's also a saber, and a he. But, no, Mordred doesn't do it for me. Also, you might know, despite my claims, nobody has glasses. None of the characters we looked at other than Kanamori had glasses. It has more good guys like Kama and Achilles. Achilles? Bro, okay, I'm a derail for a little bit. Achilles versus Chiron was one of the coolest fights I've ever seen. It was actually the whole, it was the best part of the anime. And honestly, the best girl out of Apocrypha, Semiramis is pretty high, but to me, it's gotta be, the older sister in the wheelchair. Chiron's master. She was the good stuff. And also Atalanta. I almost called her Atlanta. Atalanta is very high quality. Shame what happened to her. So I posted this as a pin, but I do have an announcement. The one with the robotic arms. Yeah. I only really remember her from being in a wheelchair. I remember her last name, but I don't remember her given name. Man, that's crazy. Okay, whatever. So, like I said, I have a dire need for subscribers. I will be doing a sub marathon in order to unlock the next level, as it were. I don't want to get into too many details, but your boy here has a new design. And I've shown a few people it, and at least one of you has already seen everything. Or at least more or less. But all the comments I've gotten on it is that it's absolutely amazing. The artist that did it is absolutely amazing. So I won't be revealing it until the sub-marathon is over. I might, you know what I might do is I'll do like a husbando series where I'll slowly reveal myself as we go on and on and on. It's also possible that I might do a 24-hour stream until we hit 100 subs on YouTube, or 200 subs on Twitter. Whatever comes first. Or, sorry, 200 followers. So, that's the big announcement, as well as the fact that if you didn't already hear it from me earlier, the next player in Horde of the Dragon Queen has been decided, and we are going to stream their character creation tomorrow. That's Thursday. Tomorrow, at the same time that this stream started, so 3 p.m. CST. I'll post about it again on Twitter, and hopefully, if I remember, a few hours before the stream happens, I will remind all of you guys. So that's all the big announcements, and that ends Waifu Wednesday. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna appreciate my girl here. Nice. All right. It's now time for the outro, as we just hit an hour. Se no, otsu Kagerou. Hi, arigatou gozaimashita. Let's go over here. Yeah. Hey, I didn't screw up the BGM this time. Let's go. All right. I will see you guys later.